Hi guys, well, with our predictable legendary luck, we have just managed to buy a used tow bar with detachable tow ball. The guy kindly fitted it for me at his house, fitted this, took it off whilst I was there, got it back home, and the lock's broken. I don't know whether you can see. This part has to be all the way in, and a little ball pops up on here, and that's in the sprung position. Once it's in the sprung position, you can just click it into the actual frame, and this springs out and locks it all in place. Now, to get it into the sprung position, the instructions are: unlock the tow ball by turning the key clockwise. So, key in, turn it as far as it goes. The operating knob, this whole bit here, can be pushed in. Press the operating knob inwards and rotate clockwise from 9 to 3 o'clock until this bit gets really round to here, and that's fully retracted. But it only goes to there, and you can't push it in any position. And that's something else I noticed while I was fiddling around with it. If you flick this and let it go a couple of times, the whole lock just falls out. And if you look closely, it's just completely worn out. So obviously not as new and unused as we thought. Probably not the seller's fault. It didn't look that worn, but it clearly is. It's absolutely knackered. Deep inside there, I don't think. Oh yeah, you can see a little bolt. The problem is, if I take that out, this whole thing is just going to fall apart. And as it's spring loaded, and there's quite a lot of tension still on there, I don't know what's going to happen. But at the moment, it's completely useless because I can't. I would rather it had broken, stuck on the car, because in this state I can't even attach it to the car. So really disappointed at the moment. 250 quid out of pocket, a trip to Coventry and back, and we're no further forward than we were earlier. So yeah, you're supposed to just unlock that to there. You should be able to push that bit in and then turn it all the way from there to the 3 o'clock position, which is pretty much there. So yeah, just great. And God knows if we have to replace this part, even if it's available, I've no idea how much that's going to be. We could have gone with a cheaper aftermarket one, but this was a genuine Honda one. Although it turns out that it's not. It's made by Bosal for Honda, I guess. Typical no UK phone number on the instructions. So I don't know whether to undo that bolt that's in there or not really, but having done a bit of locksmithing and a bit of lock picking, I know for sure that is not supposed to do that. So I can't see why that's coming out like that. There's certainly nothing loose inside there. I've probably got nothing to lose by unscrewing that bolt and letting it all fall apart. Maybe it'll be more obvious then what's going on. So anyway, yeah, this was just a video for the eBay seller, and but I thought I'd put it on the forum as well, give you guys a bit of a laugh at my expense yet again. I'll speak to you later and let you know the outcome. Actually, I thought if I've got enough battery time, I'm just going to undo this and see what happens. We've got absolutely nothing to lose at the moment. Well, that's the screw out. There's probably something under this cover as well. Nothing to lose by peeling that off. There we go. There's another screw in there. see what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that other one back in place if I can. Right, let's have a look at this. Well, that's really weird because there's nothing in there. So how on earth does that stop that from turning? I don't get this. Let's have a look. I guess this bit probably pushes in. I don't see the relevance of the lock because it doesn't actually seem to do a hell of a lot. Yeah, you see the little cutout just in here. I suspect it won't come out now, but I can see what holds it in now. It's the spring tension of that there. If I push that in, the whole thing pops out. So it's just the spring is so badly worn, and this part, that it's you can obviously spin that, flick it back, and it's so worn that you can actually get it to catch in and then pull the thing out. But it obviously, because it's got that, you can see that half moon shape, you turn it to go into there, and then that allows this to spin round. But it seems to be jammed inside. Oops, that's just the indicators. It's, whether it's in place or not. So yeah. So the problem seems to be inside there. So if we take that out, Ready. I knew that was going to happen. Right, well, there is a simple rod with some teeth, spring loaded obviously, and that turns that. Ah, there's the problem. I don't know whether you can see. Whether this is good enough to see or not. Can you see the big gouge in the body? There's a bit down there. Lift this up a bit. A little bit in there, and a bloody great big gouge in there. Now I suspect that something got into there. The actual teeth look fine. Can't see anything catching on that. Yeah, you can see the teeth look perfectly okay. So that obviously runs in there. Pulls it backwards and forwards. It's pretty grubby in there. I don't know whether there's any sign of anything metallic in there. Not that I can see. So what do we do now? We're going to retension that. Well, that's a pretty crappy design because this is just held in place by that bit there going into a hole in the bottom. It's the right size. There's a bit of clearance between that and the actual outer body here. Not really sure what holds that nice and neatly in place. Maybe that's... I was going to say there is some sign of wear on this part. That's grease there, but you can see a bit of wear just on there, but I'm surprised that's stopping it from turning. But that's what holds this top bit in place. So how long this battery's going to last for. Actually, I'm assuming that sat in there. It's a really tight fit, and that's surely got to turn. Is it just acting? No, it hasn't. Has it? No, it hasn't. It's just purely allowing that to turn. That actually bolts on there in place, and it just turns that. Well, that clearly has been going in there okay, that's not the issue. So this really shouldn't be rocket science to sort out, should it? There's absolutely nothing wrong here. Those teeth look perfect. The teeth in there also look perfect. The only bit that's showing any wear is that bit, but actually doesn't move. So how can it be showing signs of wear if it's bolted in place? That's probably just... right. That's it. Yeah, that does move on here. That's the out and locked position, and when you turn that to that 3 o'clock position, it then can go in. So that would be unlocked. And there it turns and drops in. Still can't see any reason why that would not be working. Yeah, as you can see, that it works perfectly. No sign of any issues at all. Oh God. Quite how I'm going to retension that and put it back together, I don't know. Got some lithium grease, but I want to see why it's not working in the first place. Right, I'm just going to pause that and have a little fiddle around with this. Right, I think we have solved the problem. I don't think I can do much about it though. If you look, get the grease off the end of this. If you look here, oh, it's not focusing, is it? Can you see that ridge all round here? It's obviously been wearing into that over the years, and I think that's causing the issue now. Now it hasn't damaged the outer circumference, it's taken just a ridge out here and it's pushed it in and up, So if I turn that way, you see at the back here there's a big ridge of metal, and there. I don't know whether I can just, and there, we're all going back to this damage that we were mentioning earlier, here. I didn't see this bit at the time because it was covered in grease. So I don't know whether that's just worth filing down. I guess we're screwed either way, so got to give it a go. Right, back in a while. Hi, right, back again. When that went flying out earlier on, what I didn't realise is there's a spring and a stainless steel cup that sits on top of the spring, and what it does is it pushes this pin up when you're in the spring position ready for it to attach. Fortunately, it just landed up on the workbench just to my right. Otherwise, I mean, it could have gone absolutely anywhere. So I've just temporarily assembled it again, and without putting all the bits and pieces on, because I'm going to take this apart again and use some lithium grease on it. But I filed down all the bits that looked wrong, and now if I don't know whether you can see, yeah, you see the end going in here, and this will end up in this position, and then that will lock in place there. And how it locks in place is that spring has just gone up, and there's a spring in this bit here. And now when you offer this up to the tow bar, it hits that, and that springs out and locks it in place. So at the moment, so I've got to knock it out manually. There we go. Right. So I think what I'll do now is take that apart again and go and find my lithium grease and reassemble it. I mean, at least I can use it like this. Okay, I might not be able to lock it, but that's a hell of a lot better. Of course, this time I know to push down on the spring, pull that out, and then gently release it. And that bit I was talking about that went flying earlier is just there. It's literally a small spring, this little steel cup. It just sits in there like that, and that obviously locks it in the sprung position, ready to go on. Anyway, that's enough of me waffling. I'll be back later when I've found the lithium grease and reassembled it all, and we'll see whether we're back in business or not. Catch you later. Right, battery just went flat, so I'm going to redo that last section. Of course you won't know the difference because it'll be the proper bit of video. Right, it's been stripped to bits, the damage I've filed and smoothed down as much as possible, carefully re-greased things, but it's so worn out that it's not happening. I'll show you why. There, now did you see that pop up? That's how it should work. I should be able to push that up and down at will. The lock's not in there because that's completely knackered, but it doesn't matter whether it's there or not. So at the moment, this is how it was before. You could turn it and it would lock there. What I can't do, and you have to do, is to be able to unlock it, and then you can push this whole thing down. But as you can see, it's not having it. So we can't get it into the sprung loaded position ready to go onto the car. I've found out that by putting some pressure on here and taking the spring tension off like that, I can get it into a position there. You saw that go in then? That's normal position out here, and if okay, it won't push in manually, but if I take the pressure off, there, you see it go in. That's now in the in position, and if I put that back down and turn this, you'll see it will go all the way around to the lock position. That's out under spring tension. That's all the way in. That is now ready to be slid into the frame. That's depressed. That springs out, and the whole thing's locked in place, which is not really very good for 250 quid. I mean, it's totally worn out. If I can find the lock. this lock is held in place purely by that little spring-loaded bit there. They're the tumblers. There's like one extra big spring-loaded tumbler that isn't part of the tumbler mechanism, and you push that in, push the lock in, that springs out, and that's all that holds it in place. So yeah, rubbish really. And what I did earlier, by turning that handle and letting it go under spring pressure, it was just enough pressure to allow that to be pinged back in, because the springs are weak. Yeah, just pushing that back in enough for it to pop out a little bit, and once that's caught in the body, of course you can just lift the whole thing out. So I don't even know whether this will work with the lock. See again, that centre barrel that I showed you earlier and was filing is so worn out that you can't push it down. Oh, of course, sorry, I'm in the locked position at the moment, but there, see, it will ping up, but no matter what I do, it will only go to there. You can't, and I can't push it down. This should just be a simple spring-loaded push. There's a spring inside this, as you saw earlier, and I'm not really sure I want to be doing this all the time to fit it. Now it's okay. So thank God there's a workaround, but it's hardly ideal. Now whether I can get the lock to actually lock is another matter, but that just simply goes in. You're going to have to put the key in. I mean, you can see it's completely worn, just the top here has had the key in and out God knows how many times, which is a bit strange, because how many times can you go away and need a tow bar every year? Yeah, so that's in now. Except it isn't, and I can't get the key in or out or anything else now. Jeez. Right, so that would be the off of the car position, and the key comes out. And you shouldn't be able to push that down now, even under spring pressure, because that lock is holding it in place. So if I now put the key in, turn it. Oh, now it did go. Yeah, it did just go down. You saw it, and this is probably why the seller thought it was okay, because the laws of averages probably say that it will work occasionally, but not now. So that's the unlock position. If I push that on the spring, there, it's gone in. Now we can, there, that's it. That would be on, ready to go on the car. You can't remove the key. As soon as that's there, as soon as that's in and locked in place, you can when that's sprung out, you can turn the key, take it out. So yes, it's a pup. Oh God. And just out of luck as usual. I'll just show you that key thing again. If you see, that is just raised now. There. Just that flicking and spring tension. It's just enough to put that back in and let it come up the body a bit. And I hadn't fitted the warning indicators because I suspected they might be something to do with the reason this wouldn't go up and down. But it's not the outer. It's not this bit that's not going up and down, it's actually this bit here, because that is completely worn out. So, we'll just reassemble these bits. It's just the green and red to show you whether it's locked or not. I'll just go around there. Like I say, I took them off because I thought they were binding on here somehow, but that's just not the case. Screw in the middle. That's that. There's a sticker to go on there. So I'm going to have to get the super glue out to put that back on there. So we'll leave that off. That again, we'll just push in there. Total rubbish. But again, completely unusable. Got to take the pressure off and then there. No. Oh, because it's locked. Because you've got to lock in, idiot. Unlock it. There. You see the way that slid in. There. Once it's down, it's perfect. That's it. No problem at all. That's got to ping up before you can unlock it and take the key out. So there you go. That is a Honda 2009 CRV. And that's a genuine Honda supplied tow bar and frame. It's made by a company called, what did I say, Bosal? B-O-S-A-L, but only in Dutch and French phone numbers. So yeah, probably a nice bit of kit when it was brand new, but it's going to be troublesome from now on. At least I know how it works and how we can get around the problem. But maybe the seller working for Honda can come to some agreement with us and replace this this particular bit. So yeah, whatever happens without that key in the unlock position, I can't get that to push in there like it just did. And then round and lock and ready to go. Probably not best to store it in that position either, under the spring tension. So we'll just take that off. I'll stick this on another time, and yeah, that's it. Didn't expect to be doing this at 11:15 on Sunday night, but you learn something every day. I'll speak to you all later. Bye.